Understanding what the 3 phases of artistic expression are and which phase you are in will help you dramatically improve the quality of your art. My name is Carrie, and I created Artist Strong to help self-taught artists build their skill and develop their unique style. To date, thousands have joined the community to learn and grow together. If you feel like gaps in your learning hold you back from making your best art, sign up and watch my free workshop called How to Create Art from Your Imagination. It's completely free, and the link is in the description below. Over the past couple of months, I've begun research into the wants and needs of the Artist Strong community, and I've come to discover we go through 3 phases as creatives. Phase 1, thirsty for information, foundations or fundamentals. This is primarily a learning phase where we feel ravenous for information. We gobble up tutorials and Paint Like Me classes like they are going out of style. We want to learn techniques and work toward achieving specific effects in our art. Sometimes art journaling serves as our entry point. At some point during this phase, many experience a major life event, say like a job, loss, retirement, health scare, that has them considering their priorities, with a special understanding that life can really be short. They realize art is one of their priorities, and they often create space in their home to make art. In my 20s, I had to have brain surgery, and no surprise there, it was definitely a major life event. I was told I could go blind, need lifelong hormone replacement therapy, or die on the operating table. And we didn't even know if it was cancerous yet. It wasn't. Truly, for the first time in my adult life, I made art without the agenda of social or cultural pressure. I didn't worry about what so-and-so might think. I made art because it mattered to me, and it might be the last time I could. So when I woke up from surgery with the best news possible and full recovery, I knew I wanted to do more with my art. Despite going to school studying art and art history, I still felt like my skill was limited, but I was ravenous to learn and to keep making art. That was when I started exploring what it took to create a regular artist practice, or phase 2. And in my current research, it appears 2 to 5 years after setting up that studio, the tutorials and Paint Like Me classes don't quite cut it anymore. We start searching for classes, resources, and teachers that can help us figure out what's next. Here is where we start to explore phase 2. But before we go into phase 2, I'd love to know if you think you're exploring phase 1 right now. Type P1 in the comments below if you really resonate with this phase. Phase 2, making time for our art creating a practice. In this phase, we start to think about how we're using our time and just how much we want to show up for our art. Creating a regular practice feels important and valuable to us, not only for continuing to improve our skills, but also for developing the unique ideas we imagine and struggle to put on canvas or paper. We want to make time regularly, but face insecurity over our skill and the time we give our art, sometimes feeling guilty about making time for our art. There's a question of what's next, and why are we making art anyway? After my brain surgery and recovery, I looked at life with a different kind of perspective. And when the teachers around me shared stories of teaching internationally, I asked, why not me? I took a leap and I moved by myself to Dubai to teach elementary art. It was while I was in Dubai I started building a serious practice and questioned my voice and message in my art. I found galleries hosting open calls for art and used those as a stepping stone to start investigating different ideas and messaging in my art. They gave me built-in deadlines and themes and provided structures so I knew what to work on when I showed up in my studio. We have more skill at this phase than previously, but still struggle with calling ourselves artists, despite having studio space in our home. And we want to have a clear voice and a unique style that shows through, but we can't recognize it yet, nor do we know how to find it and develop it further. Have you felt this frustration? It's one reason I created my free workshop, How to Create Art from Your Imagination. There is an A to Z method for building your skill and confidently creating unique art. You can watch the workshop as soon as you sign up, so grab that link below. Now, it is at this point we start to explore phase 3 with a clear focus on creating original art. Phase 3, finding your voice, creating original art. This phase is all about voice development. We know we can learn any skills or techniques we don't yet know how to use, and are willing to explore new ideas and take risks to explore the ideas we have for our art. We start looking for a method, path, or approach to voice development. We hear things about creating a series of art, but don't want to feel boxed in by one style or body of art either. I spent 6 years in Dubai, mainly in phase 2. It wasn't until the end of my time there and our family moved to Muscat, Oman, that I started to look at creating art in a series. I had some ideas, but they felt derivative, meaning not really a unique idea and heavily influenced by others. Instead of using that as a sign to stop making art, I decided to make that art anyway. And that's exactly what led me to my first series of artworks that truly came from me, entitled Anonymous Woman, and to my first solo exhibition. It took the work that made no sense in my head, or that my inner critic told me wasn't good enough, to finally find the work I'm proud of today. Not knowing how to explore our voice can sometimes make us question our commitment and regular practice, limiting how much we actually show up and make art. And this is even knowing art makes us happier and healthier. We often even have loved ones who encourage us in our work because they know we're in a better mood when we make art. If this video is helping you today, please consider liking and subscribing to Artist Strong. Your likes make a huge difference in helping me reach more people just like you. So, what does it look like to achieve results? That's different for each person. Ultimately, the larger goal shared seems to include the following: showing up for our art regularly, being able to put ideas from our imagination to paper or canvas, having people recognize our work as ours because of our unique style without being boxed into one style for life, being happy and proud to share our art with loved ones and potentially a wider audience. If this resonates with you and you'd like to add nuance to this conversation, I'm looking to speak to at least 50 people in the community about these phases and our goals as creatives. Once I reach 50, I plan to continue this by having 4 to 5 calls per month. To be clear, this is not a sales call. This is research to support the humans who choose to be here. Take a peek at my calendar in the links below and choose a time slot that works for you. This is just the beginning of my research. I better understand your journey as a creative person by having 15-minute or so conversations with you. Why imagine or guess what you might need from Artist Strong when I can actually ask? Choose the best time for you in the links below. And remember, proudly call yourself an artist. Together, we are Artist Strong.